So let me introduce you to a sitcom character that I like to call the High Flyer. That's the third on our list of sitcom characters, very loosely based on the Enneagrams. And this character is all about status and achievements. They want respect, they want to come top, and they're very, very competitive. They judge other people on their successes. That's how they think they will be judged. Sitcom characters are always projecting their own neuroses onto others and then back onto themselves. So that is the High Flyer. That's what this video is about. I'm James Carey. I'm a sitcom writer. I've been writing sitcoms for the BBC for the last 20 years. I'm obsessed with sitcoms and I love helping other people write better sitcom scripts. So this is our third character, the High Flyer. They're great sitcom characters because they want to come top. They'll try to defeat other characters. They're always being competitive. They want to be top of the list. And so they always have lots of energy taking them forward. And that's what you want in a sitcom. Characters who are looking to the future, trying to strive, doing things. This is the High Flyer. And of course, the one thing that motivates the High Flyer is not just success, but fear of failure. That is the F word for the High Flyer. They don't want to fail, they don't want to come bottom, it's humiliating for them, and so they will do anything to avoid that. Over on my blog, I give a real life example of a High Flyer who is an extremely competitive person who became the best at something in the world. Go down to the notes below and click on the link for that. But in sitcom land, there's a couple of High Flyers who are very, very successful. They have a success mentality and they're funny as a result of it. The first one would be Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. He is obviously unbelievably intelligent and he just objectively is the smartest guy in the room every time. And so he just likes to point that out. He likes other people to point that out. If he's invited to give a speech where he has to thank people, he wouldn't really see the point because everything is up to him and his own brilliance, which in some ways is maybe even true, but you don't actually want people to say that. And so for Sheldon, the comedy is kind of him having to learn how to sound like a normal, humble human person, whereas he doesn't really see the point of that. The other super successful character would be Jack Donaghy in 30 Rock. He's all about status. He's worked his way up from the bottom of General Electric. There's little bits of his backstory in the show. I've seen every single episode of 30 Rock and I love it. I can't wait to show it to my oldest daughter, who's about the age where she would appreciate it. He forms this really weird relationship with Liz Lemon, who is obviously got a strong moral compass. She's got a centre-left political perspective, whereas he is always all about success, all about the elites. And whenever that is threatened, obviously he starts to panic. But again, his self-assurance is actually itself quite funny. But actually, successful high flyers in sitcoms are relatively unusual because being a high flyer isn't actually about success. It is a mindset. It is a success mindset. And so actually they tend to be either failures or tryhards. That's a much stronger staple of the sitcom. I've got 3 examples for you, and again there are more over on my blog. The obvious one would be Dwight from The Office. Now, I've only seen the UK version of The Office where Dwight is called Gareth, but I'm pretty sure that Dwight is the same. He is desperate to be assistant regional manager. He's actually the assistant to the regional manager, but he sometimes willfully blurs the line on that so that he can get that sort of status. He's quite intense, takes himself very seriously, and often high flyers do, because to them, you know, success is not to be joked about. It's something that really, really matters to them. And actually, serious characters are really funny because they don't have that self-awareness necessarily. So other characters can also find them funny, not just the audience. Another example of that, who isn't quite as serious, would be Amy in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Okay, so she's not a failure at all, but she is quite a try-hard. She wants to be top of the class. She is always wanting the approval of her boss or her boss's boss, Captain Holt. So she is got that real mentality of I want to come top of every test. She was obviously head girl at school or ran for class president and would have been devastated if she hadn't got it. If she was in the UK and she'd been in the Scouts or the Guides or the Brownies, she would have got all of the badges. She probably would have broken the system. That's what high flyers do. They're all about racking up those achievements. And again, in a sitcom situation, that's what you want. People trying to get concrete recognition, winning prizes and those sorts of things that then give you that scene where there's that success or failure or that bittersweet Pyrrhic victory that they might need. And then a British example would be Alan Partridge. He is desperate to be on the telly. It's all about that respect that you get from being a TV personality. But his talent and his personality just don't back that up. And it's funny and it's tragic and it's sad. Makes you quite uncomfortable at times. So he's got a very long history on British television, and you can dive into that if you want. But the other thing that's happening here is I'm just sort of creating a sitcom set in a restaurant. How would a high flyer look in that situation? Now, it would be tempting to make the owner of the restaurant the high flyer, and that would be one way to go. And maybe last time I thought I would do that, but actually, let's put the high flyer in the kitchen, washing up. He's got big plans. He's actually the son of the owner. She is his mum. She's got tough love. She wants him to work his way up from the bottom. So he wants to get into Princeton or Harvard. And if that doesn't work, he wants to go to a military academy. He wants to get into elite institutions to make her proud so that he gets that success and that recognition that he's craving. So he's always going to be listening to information on podcasts about how to succeed. He's probably doing courses, all kinds of things so that he can get ahead. Maybe one week he tried to be an influencer and try to get 1 million views on YouTube, which, believe me, is really, really hard to do. And you could always subscribe to this channel as well. That would help me do that. But I'm not a high flyer. I'm not actually that bothered about earthly success and respect and all those sorts of things. I mean, of course I am a little bit. But that's what the high flyer is. They want to be successful. They want respect more than anything else. They really, really fear failure, humiliation, coming bottom. That's what the high flyer is. Anyway, lots more of these to come. Do spread the word. Go and look on my blog, and then it'll be announced when the next video comes along. Thanks for watching. Speak to you next time.